Hey everybody, this is Monster Bloba coming at you with another Ploxmons video. This time we're going to be talking about what my favorite cards are that I've seen so far. I've not been able to play the game yet, so this is just based on what I can find from the wiki, from the devs Let's Play, from the Ploxbot Discord game, and so on. One thing to note is the game is still in early development, so everything we see and talk about could change before we can actually get our hands on the game. But with that said, let's get started on my top 10 favorite Ploxmon so far. Starting off with number 10, we have Angry Corn. Overall, I like the lore of Angry Corn, and his stats are pretty good as well, making a decent attacker. But a bit of his lore here that we can find from the wiki is the bandages on Angry Corn's legs are testifying its endless participation in battles. It is one of the best fighters among all the mods. With increasing duration and difficulty of battle, Angry Corn is able to show its full strength. The fur begins to spark and burn, which frightens most of its enemies. Overall, I like the lore, I like the design, I like the stats. It's pretty solid Ploxmon, and I could see myself playing some decks with this one, but it's not necessarily something I would go out of my way to include. With that being said, we'll go on to number 9. Here we have Bomby. Bomby is a interesting one. I really like his power. His power lets you damage the boss even after he dies. Basically, he has like a self-destruct type thing. And it can give you some really cool plays like we've seen in the Let's Play where you actually want him to die. You don't care about how much damage the boss will do or even how much damage Bomby himself will do, because that after you kind of want him to die, which creates an interesting dynamic where a lot of times you don't really want your mons to die, and you always have to pay attention to the boss's attack and etc etc. But with Bomby, you don't have to worry about any of that, and you can just let him go, and potentially the Plox boss could kill itself, which would, that's a really funny idea. See, here's some lore again from the wiki. Bomby is a mon that should always be handled with care. The slightest touch can be enough to make this little mon explode. Also, when it gets angry, it goes boom. Look out for it too long and boom. A gentle breeze is blowing. Boom. The explosion does a lot of damage, leaving huge devastation behind. For that reason, Bomby has become a valuable companion in the war against the Ploxmons. Just make sure to keep yourself a little distance from them. And with that, we'll move on to number 8. This is Glmsey. Glmsey's stats seem to be pretty basic, not good, not bad, but one thing that won me over was this really awesome design and its interesting lore. Here's a bit of the lore for you. The wings of Glmsey are always on fire. With a few wing beats, it's capable of sending out a warm and invigorating gust to strengthen its companions in battle. When in danger, Glmsey is able to increase the temperature in the air slightly and thus creates an overwhelming heat waves. Because this attack will cause serious damage to its enemies, they will most likely try to escape the battlefield immediately. And with that, you can see what I'm talking about. Glmsey is a beautiful little fire butterfly looking thing, and it has some really cool attack abilities, lore-wise, and it just makes it so that the lore fits with the look perfectly, and overall makes it my number 8. Moving on, number 7, we have one of the starters, Zigzags. With Zigzags, we don't know a lot of lore yet, but what little we do know is this. Zigzags is a bold and curious mon that loves racing around and exploring new areas. His fast and agile movement charges his fur and stimulates nearby allies on contact. But the reason he made this list is because I think he's a very powerful mon when it comes to tribute. As when you tribute him, you can buff your team's speed, and this can help you quickly steal a kill right out from under your opponent, which is a big strategy, a very valuable ability to help with your strategies, a big strategic advantage. Now moving on to number 6. We're getting into the mons I'm probably going to mispronounce the names of. Zapyria is a mythical mon, which is kind of like a legendary mon if you're familiar with Pokemon. From what we've heard so far, it's the fastest mon in the game, and that coupled with this really cool design makes me think that I could see this in a good few of my decks for sure. As far as from the lore, this is what we have on it. Meet Zapyria, the ruler of heavens. The mythical mon is so fast that it is able to lift off the ground and run on the clouds, where it can even outspeed lightning itself. It is rumored that during battle with an evil Ploxmon, Zapyria launched projectiles of air with supersonic speed to the adversary, followed by an electrocuting bite to finish it off. Pretty cool lore with a pretty cool design, and great stats. Makes the list number 6. Moving on to number 5 now. We're in the top 5. Ramora. And as in the top 5, Ramora has really earned his spot. I really like the style of Ramora, but one big thing, notice how powerful its synergies are when you're able to buff this thing with tribute cards. It can get out of control due to the fact that he can attack 3 times in a row. He has triple strike ability, which lets him do 3 attacks. It also has some pretty cool lore here as well. No one knows who or what created Ramora, or if it fused itself. Other mons certainly don't want to fight against it. Ramora feed on lightning, so if it comes across the Zaplinks, it gets very aggressive. I tried to do this with a Pots Blitz once, which is one of the Plox bosses, a bit off more than it can chew. So Ramora is mainly here because of 1, it has a pretty cool design of its own, and 2, its incredible power with synergies. Moving on to number 4 now. Leviathan. Leviathan is a very tanky mon with a lot of health and some really good damage. I think you can find a place in most decks, in my opinion. Also some really cool design. Leviathan, like most of the other mons on this list, has some really cool lore I'll share with you now. It's rumored that a huge and powerful sea serpent mon managed to defeat an evil Ploxmon all by itself by dragging it down to the ocean, crushing its body and drowning it at the same time. Leviathan is a mystical mon that can be considered a ruler of the seas. Even a bunch of Serpentos with their strong bites can't take down this enormous creature. There you have it. Its lore coincides with its stats well, and that's one thing I do like about Ploxmon, is that the lore mixes really well with the stats, saying how, like I was saying, this is a tanky mon, and then the lore says that it's very hard to take down. You know, I just think that's cool. But now we're on to the top 3. Pyrotops. He was my starter in the Ploxmon Discord game, so he holds a special place in my heart. Because of that, I'm going to be putting him here at number 3. But even putting that aside, Pyrotops is a good tribute power that can buff the attack of your mons, give you a small edge that can push the game into your favor. You could see this as if you're short of a damage or 2, and then you put your Pyrotops as a tribute, the next thing you know, you're killing a boss that would have been a spicy encounter, because next round you had to hope to attack him first or something like that. Here is a bit of the lore, which we don't have much on him either, but what we do have is this. Usually Pyrotops is a very friendly mon that shows you its cuteness. When you make it angry, Pyrotops uses all its firepower to generate a huge inferno. And with that, we'll move onwards to number 2. Buzz Knight. With Buzz Knight, I have to say some of my favorite lore I've seen so far, and that alone made me want to find a place for many of my decks. Here's the lore. Buzz Knights are fearless and venerable warriors who bravely enter every fight to ensure justice. Those who enter the forest with evil intentions should prepare for their attack. Their exoskeleton is as hard as stone and their claws are sharp as knives. They'll spend their lives training with other Buzz Knights to get stronger and stronger. And in addition to the awesome lore, awesome design, he actually has armor. His armor can help him stay in the fight longer, and his design is just overall awesome, like I've said many times now. I would put him as my number 1. I really did consider maybe putting him as my number 1, but somebody else just stole my heart on that one. And here he is. We have a combo. Awesome design. Awesome lore, very strong stats. I can't see why I wouldn't love this card. I can think of very few decks where he would not fit into. He's an awesome damage dealer, really strong tribute to win the boss's mercies for your side. He has some really cool lore like I'm about to share with you now. An urgent desire, challenge an opponent. This mythical mon lurks in the shadows, waiting for the opportunity to attack. Rumors say that due to its enormous size, speed, and strength, Draconics is able to win a fight even against Plox bosses. Within seconds, this mon is able to make a nosedive onto its target, before slashing it or the defeat with those big lethal claws. With his lore and stats, he almost seems like he could be a Ploxmon in his own right. But that will do it for this list. I hope you all enjoyed, and you guys can feel free to list your favorites. I'm not ranking them in any particular order of just how powerful they are, just how cool they are, anything. It's kind of a combination of all these factors. So you can feel free to make a list of your favorite ones in the comments below, and whatever deciding factor you want, make the list out of. If you guys have any ideas for future videos you'd like to see or like me to cover, feel free to let me know in the comments. So overall, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find the link to my Twitter below. That's where I will keep you up to date on my new videos and my new ideas that I'm going to be doing. And this has been Monster and Bloba signing off. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.